Hey everyone, how is everyone? Welcome in. Sorry that I was a couple of minutes late. I set up an event and had issues, as I always do, with Restream. So unfortunately tonight I'm only streaming to YouTube. So let me quickly go and put some info in the group. So that we can all see that. How is everyone? Let's have a little look at the chat and see how everyone is. So welcome in everyone. My name is Bridget Parker. Thank you to everyone who is here in the chat, and thank you to everyone listening on the replay. We have lots of replay viewers, and definitely introduce yourself in the chat, in the comments afterwards. I want to hear from you guys as well. So this channel is true crime based, and at the moment we're following a lot of cases, but at the moment everyone seems to be talking about Heidi Broussard and Margot Carey, and I want to bring you the latest on that. Let me see if everything is running. All right, so Streamlabs should be set up. Mods, let's go and have a little look. Can everyone tell me how the audio is? And I do think that I have actually partially fixed our video situation as well, so thank you for bearing with me. Let me go and see all of the lovely people that are here. So the first comment you see in the chat is from Smooth Criminal Podcast. That's actually Tori from Tori and the ACDC. She does a true crime comedy podcast. If you want to go and subscribe, I recommend you do. She does like a 10-15 minute podcast once a week, and it's brilliant. It's really funny and interesting to learn about really stupid, idiotic, dumb criminals. So definitely go and give her a follow, subscribe to her. If one of the mods could pop her link in the chat, that would be awesome. So who have we got here tonight? We've got Kathy, Truther Sleuther. Hey Truther Sleuther, I have got your emails, I just haven't been able to reply yet. Hey Rachel, hey Kelly, hey Jaina, hey Lady Pegasus. We all know who Lady Pegasus is. Have a little look in the chat and you'll know who that is now. Hey Jody M, hey Erin, hey Jane Doe, hey Jamie, hey Catalin, sorry. Who else have we got? Hey Andrew, hey The Glera, hey Connie, hey Bella Blue, hey Vicky Carpenter. We do have news, that's why I'm here. Hey Crypto. I love that Crypto calls me a rock star. It's just the wonderful boost of confidence that everyone deserves and needs sometimes. Hey Shelley, hey Gingerlocks, hey Zeracia, hey Renee, hey Janice, hello Miss Justice. Streamlabs is working perfectly. Hey Jody, hey Ashley, hey Nada, hey Earthbound Spirit. Lots of lovely people in the chat. So I hope everyone's having a good day or night. Whose channel was I talking about? I was talking about Tori and the ACDC's podcast. It's called the Smooth Criminal Podcast, and Renee's popped the link in the chat for us. Thank you so much. And she has hey Wendy, she has an awesome podcast. It's true crime comedy, and it's just every week there's a theme. I suggested a theme and she made it public that I suggested it, so you have to go and find out which theme I suggested. Hey Kim A, did I forget anyone? You can you're welcome to have a yell at me if I forgot you. Yes, we're all rock stars. I agree with that. How's everyone going with Christmas coming up? I can't believe it's next week. Actually, hang on a second. So before we get into it, I want to quickly let you know a couple of things. For those who didn't know, my beloved dog, my soulmate, has terminal cancer and is dying. And whilst that is really sad and awful, she's only 8. I am blessed that we have some time together, and she's actually doing really, really well. And one of my lovely friends suggested that I make a stepping stone for her. And I want to quickly show you because it just dried. I want to show you what it looks like. I just got to find a better image of it. I was going to do a community post, but I thought I'll just... Oh, what have I done? I'll just quickly show you whilst we're live. But we'll be getting into the case. Anyone that's on the replay, you can feel free to skip. You want to just know about the case. We will get into it. But so I recommended this to a couple of people, and some people have actually done it already for their pooch. I think it's great for anything, but for me now, knowing that I have this, it's given me a lot of comfort. So there's it should come up on the screen in a minute. There's my gorgeous little stepping stone I made. It was really interesting to do with concrete and a dog. But I was worried about having the concrete on her paws, but it came off so easily. Hey Dover 4. Yeah, Zeratia made one. I saw that one. So yeah, I bought this kit for $30, for 30 Australian dollars. It came from America. The stones around it, the mosaic, I bought separately. I wanted to add a different touch to it. But yeah, so I love it. I think it's cool. Hey Harmony. I recommend for anyone to do it with their pets. It was really fun, and it's a really great like memorial. And I'm actually thinking of doing some with plaster of Paris and giving them to family at Christmas. But we don't really have that much time until Christmas. I'll have to see how I go. We'll see. Oh, enjoy doing the dishes, Dover. At least you'll have something. Do you know what? I actually listen to podcasts or audiobooks whilst I do the dishes, so I get you. Will you get her cremated? Yes, I will. I actually was talking about that to my beauty therapist today. She sadly lost her dog last week, and so we were able to sort of connect over that. And it was actually really interesting. She went to my vet because I'd recommended them. Hey Preps, how are you? And she said that my vet was incredible and that she'll be going back there if she was to get another pooch. So yeah, I think we're all settled in and we're ready. Oh, Jamie made a Christmas ornament. Yes. I was thinking of doing that as well. Oh, Miss Justice, I'm sorry. But the thing is that I'm happy is that I have time with Bella, and she's so happy now, guys. She's had a football-sized tumor removed, and whilst we don't have much time with her, she's so happy. She really is. Oh, wow, Jody. Congratulations for the 8 months, though. That's incredible. That is incredible. I'm so blessed for you. Ooh, great work, Erin. Erin says, I Heart Dogs makes money to shelters when you make purchases there online. That's amazing. Ooh, Jana says that she got her pups paw print ornament kits at TJ Maxx. We do have, I think, one. I had to get this shipped from America. I know that there's like a salt dough recipe that you can make, but I have a whole thing of plaster of Paris because I used to make the plasters that kids could do. So I have a whole bunch. Yeah, the Clara, I think it's important. We were told in the beginning she had 1 to 3 months and that she could die at any time. And now we're told we could have longer than that, and she's really happy and she won't die painfully or unexpectedly. So I'm just soaking every single day in and loving her as much as I can. And I will be broken, very, very broken. She's my soulmate. And I say that seriously, like she helped me get through my health issues, especially in the beginning. But you just love your animals as much as you can. And I will say this is her last Christmas and she is being spoilt. I will, if you guys want, I'll video her opening her presents, because she actually does open presents. It's amazing. Oh, Deirdre, sending you lots of love. So unfortunately, we're going from one topic to another. Another sad topic, but let's cover what we're here for today, and that is Heidi and Margot. So the update that we have is that the Austin police have done a press conference, which is brilliant, and I do have that to play for us in a moment, but I thought I'd give a little recap of the case so far. There's a lot of stuff there's a lot of stuff with this case. There's a lot of comparison, and I fed into that a little bit with our first stream that we did about that. But I've taken a little step back and reassessed everything. I rewatched his interview, and I think I have a bit of a different opinion now of Shane and of this situation. I don't know whether I'm going to say I don't think he's the next Chris Watts. There, I said it out there. I don't think there'll be anyone like Chris Watts, and I think that for a lot of people, Chris Watts was their first true crime case, and so some of the behaviors in his interviews were a little similar, but I don't think that his behavior was abnormal. I might be the only one that thinks that. The rocking behavior in the interview, it's a self-soothing behavior, and people that are highly stressed rock. I don't know if anyone does that. I think I've done it a lot. And that first interview was the same night she went missing. So I can't put a lot in that interview anymore. I really can't. The other thing is that the interviewer wasn't there. It was on the phone. And I'm trying to put myself in his situation. And I think for me, I would be very awkward, and I don't know where I would look either, because the cameraman was there, but the interviewer wasn't. So it's like, where do you look? You can't look straight into the camera. That's intimidating if you've never done that before. I don't know. I'm pausing on my emotions on this and going with the facts that we have. So let's look at the facts that we do have. We have a 33-year-old woman, Heidi, from Austin, Texas, who has given birth to a beautiful baby girl, Margot. She's 3 weeks old now. And they were last seen on December 12th. As you can see on the screen on the left-hand side, she's wearing a purple jumper. That's the last image of her, and that's at the school. We know that that she bought 3 books at the book fair that cost about $25. There's some speculation that her and Shane may have had a fight about that over the phone. We don't know that for sure. So we have to sort of leave that as it is. According to Shane, he left work at 1 and he gets home at 2. When he gets home, she's not there. You know, the red flags are that the car seat is at home. The car's at home, so of course you'd think that possibly the car seat is at home as well. Her wallet's in the car, which is not typical. And that the diaper bag is at home, which to me, I think the diaper bag is a lot to go by. I think that's a huge red flag. I think that considering she had a friend at the apartments, I think it's fair for him to say, for Shane to say, hey, I thought she might have gone and visited them. I think that's fair to say. Let me go and have a little look. Yes, truth is Sluther. Persons with sensory integration disorders and autistic children do the swaying for comfort. It is. It's self-soothing. I didn't know that, but now I do. I agree, the Glaler. We have to empathize with him. And you have to go on the facts. Look, what I was sort of saying before with the whole Chris Watts thing is that a lot of people came to true crime because of Chris Watts, but some of us have been in it for a while, and that's no disrespect at all. Honestly, it's not. But because that case was so huge and it did bring a lot of new people to true crime, they haven't seen other cases and different types of behavior and things like that. Yes, when I first saw the video, I did too at first think, oh, this is interesting. This is a little like, but now I'm starting to think whether it was intentionally done like that. I don't know. I really don't. So I think we have to go with facts and not on speculation. And that's always how I've run things. Hey, CBD, how are you? I think facts are what drive me and my channel. I don't like to be too speculative. There are some things that can really help when it comes to cases like that, like this, and really they do draw in a lot of questions and they can help out, but I don't want to be one of those channels who do that though. I don't know. So Janice asks, why are they not questioning the supposed ex-boyfriend? I bet they have. Now, that is a speculative thing. I was sent an email earlier with a screenshot of a comment made by someone in regards to the ex-boyfriend. And I'm debating whether I actually want to show it though. But basically I do believe there's some speculation. I don't know if it's fact because it hasn't been said that, hey Grandma Ducky, that she had an ex-boyfriend who possibly stalked her, and not respectively. Here our term is respectful stalking, and we're not talking, we're joking, we're talking about when we sleuth, we are respectful and we err on the side of caution and we don't contact family. But apparently she has an ex that had some stalking tendencies, which is awful. There's also some comments about Shane, but I don't know whether I want to put that out there because I don't want to sway people, no pun intended, based on emotions. I want to go based on facts. Hey Lilybell Joy, hey Rosemary. Smooth Criminal Podcast says, with Bait and Clay, yeah, that one, and Watts, their interviews left no doubt, but his interview was so badly set up and his discomfort is understandable. Not a red flag in my opinion, but I could be wrong. I mean, I agree. It was really badly set up. It really was. Nada, do you want to call in? I would love if you would call in and have a little chat about the body analysis. I love seeing everyone's opinions. He might be in shock. Well, see, that first interview was done the same night. Erin asks, do you know if it is fact or rumor that the front door was open when he got home? I haven't seen... I think we need to go through some news articles to have a definite. I'm not going by anything really written in the groups because that's all very speculative. Nada's right. People laugh inappropriately all the time. I make jokes, or I make jokes in my head, but I don't say them out loud at the most inappropriate times because I deal with things with humor. which is very inappropriate to some people. So I'm sticking on the fence, guys. I know some people think that he's guilty already, and I respect that opinion that you have. I genuinely do. But for me, we don't know enough. Now, my question is, why did it take 5 days for a press conference? Nada, we can use Zoom. Do you know how to use Zoom? Why don't I just set up Zoom anyway, so that if anyone wants to call in, they can. All right, so it's set up. So how Zoom works is, the best way to use it, you can use it through your cell phone. The easiest way for me is you just download the app. It's completely free, and you sign up. It uses internet audio, so I don't see your number. There's no number involved, and you just put in the meeting ID, which is 811 000 1625. Let me pop that on the screen for you guys as well. And so you just come in through there. It's completely anonymous. I don't see anything. It's completely free. Now I have to remember the Zoom code 1625. Where shall we put it? And you're welcome to call in and have a little chit chat about how you feel about all of this. I'd love to hear from Nada, but there's no pressure there. Jamie, thank you for mentioning that, because that's something I wanted to mention too. So Jamie says, I feel the police already have an idea. On my evening news, they said he's not considered a suspect. Look, that could work two ways. The first way is the first way. Geez, English, Bridget. They could be using that as a ploy, as a tactic. Police are known to do that. Of course, they're going to keep their cards to their chest. They're not releasing a lot because, hey Denise, how are you? Because they don't want to give too much away. It's perfectly reasonable. But they also may not think that. They actually did say in the interview, and I will play it in a moment in case you haven't seen it. They did say that they don't have reason to think that she and the baby are no longer with us. Now, isn't that interesting? Nicole, hey, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too. Oh, we've got somebody here. Hello, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. This is the Glarer.
Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you as well. I love your channel.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So I need to know what you think as a male perspective on all of this, because the women are coming hard.
Right. No, I get it. And first of all, I want to say that I think so far you and I are completely in agreement.
Yeah.
I think it's way too early to come to any type of judgment. Sorry if I sound out of breath. I'm on my break at work, but I'm right now like on an elliptical bike.
Oh, okay. Multitasking.
Sorry about that. Right. Yeah, I'm completely in agreement with you. I think it's way too early to tell anything. And what people are forgetting, because I realize that there are certain things about this case that are very reminiscent of the Watts case.
Yeah.
And we also have to understand that this community is super duper Watts based. You know, like a lot of it spawned from the Watts case. So there's a lot of, almost everybody here followed the Watts case. You know, even people who don't even really follow true crime follow the Watts case.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I will say that I'm kind of one of the rare exceptions. I'm not all that interested.
I agree with you. I've noticed that from watching your channel. You cover all kinds of things.
I don't know why. It just didn't I don't know. There's
Well,
something about him that
I'll
I
tell
detest.
you if you really want to know. I mean,
Yeah.
my theory is that my thing is that I think that it's as far as true crime cases go, it's not that interesting.
Thank you.
You know, it's an open and
Yes.
shut case. There's
Yeah.
nothing, you know, and there's no conspiracy. There's no players that got away with it. There's nothing. I mean, law enforcement in Colorado, the CBI, they did an incredible job investigating that case and convicting Chris Watts.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to convict him. He pled, you know? The fact of the matter is, it was just, you know, it's what they call in law a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I mean? So to me, the Chris Watts case isn't very interesting. Now, I find the phenomenon around the Chris Watts case right now fascinating.
Me too, because I'm trying to work out why.
Right. And I can't, but like, I sit there and I look at people and how they act and how they treat each other. And it's all spawning from following that case so obsessively.
Yeah.
Which I can't figure out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people in this community that aren't going to like what I'm saying right now, but it's the fucking truth. Excuse my language. Sorry.
I don't, but it shouldn't be, that shouldn't be offensive to anyone, because but the thing is that we all have different cases that draw us into true crime. For me, the West Memphis 3 is sort of one of those cases that gets me every time. And,
of course.
And so I think that for a lot of people, that the Watts case is their one case, and that's totally fine. It's just some people just aren't interested.
It's fine. It's fine. I agree with you. It's fine until people start hurting each other in real life, doxing each other and swatting each other, which has been going on in this community.
Yeah.
And it comes from the Watts case, creating channels that are actually drama channels and not true crime channels. And then these drama channels who call themselves true crime channels end up going to war with each other, and then giving the entire community a bad name to the outside world.
Yeah, I agree. There's room for us all, and we can all have our opinions.
Right.
There's so many. The thing is, though, that there are so many cases, unfortunately, out there that we should all, you know, cover all different types of cases.
I agree, because I think that the YouTube platform and channels like yours, channels like Dad with a Phone, channels like JS for Justice, channels like John Crimes are really genuinely trying to make a huge difference. Even Gray Hughes as well. I know there's people who think that Gray Hughes and I don't get along, but Gray Hughes is a fantastic analyzer of these cases, and he covers them great. I'm actually a fan of his channel. But the thing is I feel like what the Watts case has created makes it harder for true crime channels who are really trying to actually gain some credibility and make a difference and hopefully have a hand in bringing closure to these families. It makes it difficult. It makes it more difficult because they see us as a bunch of clowns, like we're you know, the Bravo channel or MTV or something with just a bunch of reality show drama. And I think that's detrimental. I mean, it's not necessarily detrimental, but it's detrimental if we're trying to actually show the real world that there are people in this community that care and want to make a difference and do something. So, you know, and I feel like this is a great platform to be used productively in that sense. It's just being used very irresponsibly right now.
Well, see, I always stick to the true crime. I try and sort of, I haven't been doing it lately. I bring Australian cases because some of those are absolutely fascinating. I mean, go and watch my video on Catherine Knight, but just don't eat whilst you're watching. And that's what, yeah, I'm not even going to mention the cannibal part of that. But anyway, and she lives near me. Anyway, my passion is victim advocacy, and sometimes cases get to you, and this case with Heidi and her sweet 3-year-old baby, 3-week-old, sorry, baby, it's just heartbreaking. But I felt a little hopeful today in the fact that the police said they didn't flat out say that that they believe that she is, that they believe, they don't think that they're dead. to put it bluntly, they think that they could still be alive, and that was a big thing to
Well,
say.
right. Well, I mean, they have to assume that because there's no evidence of any violent crime that took place.
Yeah.
There's evidence of foul play, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, the door being left open, they're missing, but there's no diaper bag, there's nothing taken for the baby to take care of the baby. You know, these are red flags. These are big signs that are bad signs. And I'm sorry that I got off track and started talking about. I get passionate about
That's okay.
the YouTube community sometimes, but I think it's really important that we do not crucify this man before we know anything. And I have, you know, people are comparing these interviews with the Chris Watts interviews, and there's no comparison to me.
Yeah.
I agree that there's a similarity between, you know, there's a bit of a reminiscence between the two cases, whereas where it was at that point and where this case is at this point. I get that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is you look at the interviews with Chris Watts, and he was clearly lying. He was speaking of Bella and Celeste in a past tense.
Yeah.
You know, this was not a this was not a moral man. He didn't show any emotion at all whatsoever. And you know, both times, both men, yes, they're nervously laughing in their videos, but it's not the question. Nervously laughing, in my opinion, does not necessarily make someone a liar.
No, I don't think so.
What are they nervous about is the question.
Yeah.
Right? So Chris Watts was nervous about getting caught lying. This guy, he was thrown in front of cameras. This is a guy who works on pipelines.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's probably never had cameras in his face. He's not used to people telling him what to do, especially people who are kind of in a softer, you know, state. There's softer men, you know what I mean? Guys who hide behind a camera and they direct people. This is a guy who gets out there, gets his hands dirty, digs, works his job all day long, comes home, spends time with his kids. You know what I'm saying? And at least that's what we have to assume at this point. There's nothing in those interviews that indicate anything other than a guy who's nervous about being stuck in front of a camera, and he wants to, his dad is a safe place. He wants to be able to see his dad because he doesn't know what to do. He's scared out of his mind. He probably hasn't slept because his family's been missing his 3-week-old child. And there's one point in that video that really, really, really gets me. That's what really, really convinces me the most part that this guy is genuine, is the minute that he thought of his child being hungry, he broke down.
Yeah.
Like tears were streaming down this man's face at the thought of his baby being hungry, you know? So this is, at this point, I think it's very irresponsible and very prejudgmental, to say the least, to not look at this man as a victim of a crime right now and focus on, not focus so much on whether or not he did it, but where are Heidi and Margot?
Exactly, because the thing is that, you know, I think people are getting ahead of themselves. The fact is that they're still missing. You know, right now it really doesn't matter who did what to me.
Let's find Heidi and Margot. We need to assume the best right now. Stay positive and try to locate them. Track steps. The police, I think, are the way that they're conducting their investigation. They didn't reveal much to us, but to me, that's a good sign. The less in my experience following true crime, I think you would probably agree, is the less that that law enforcement addresses the press, the more comfortable I feel in how seriously they're taking their investigation.
Yeah, and if they keep their cards close to their chest, I respect it, because as much as it's hard for all of us because we want a sticky beak and know all of the details, it's better for them. It really is. But I'm going to bring Nada on now. So I will let you go. Nada is actually, well, I'll let her explain when she comes on. But thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate your input.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. See you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's so nice to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
So do you want to explain who you are and what you do?
I'm Nada, and I'm a female stripper. No, I'm just kidding. Um, oh, good. Okay. I've already had a rum and coke, so you're going to get me the way I am today. No, I'm a crime scene cleaner. I own a crime scene cleaning company. So we do all things, and it's not necessarily always that. It is things like
Hoarding?
Pardon?
Hoarding?
Oh, yes, we do a lot of that. Yeah, hoarding, car accidents, chemical spills, and sometimes it's not crime, right? It's natural deaths as well, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've been in the lots of different areas of the legal field for 25 years now. So, but I've owned this company for 5 or 6. So,
and you work really hard. I know from all of the times that we've spoken, you are always so busy with running that business, because sadly crime doesn't stop. Death doesn't stop.
Yeah. Death and accidents, it's a 24/7 business.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts and your input about Heidi and Margot, and I guess Shane as well?
I'm glad you asked that. No, my big thing is I'm getting really frustrated, I guess is the right word.
Yeah.
When people just automatically just like, boom, it's the guy. Look at the way he's rocking back and forth. I'm a massive rocker. I rock it at the grocery store.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I, took my partner out an hour ago. Like I just do that, right? But it's a very common self-soothing action.
Yep.
It's also very possible that he's under the influence of something. He kind of looks like he is a bit, which is very, very, very common. You're lots of times you're told to take something if you have it, to keep your thoughts clear. It's very common, very, very common. If you don't have something of your own, I don't know, the laws there, whatever, but if you have something of your own, they tell you to take it. And lots of times when something happens and it's quite quick, a doctor is brought to you to help you.
Yeah.
So, when people say like, oh, look, he's stoned, or, oh, look, he's rocking, or look, he's, his laughing is, you would not believe the things that people laugh at when people have to come in and bypass, they have to get into a house to get stuff, and they're bypassing the room that I'm in the middle of cleaning. And I mean, I don't mean giggling, I don't mean smiling, I mean hysterical laughter can happen.
Yeah.
And it's like laughter and screaming and crying. And when you're on camera, you have an objective, and that is to get the word out, but you don't even know what to say. Like this looks like a guy. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying he's guilty or innocent. I have no idea. How can we possibly know?
We don't know enough. We really don't. We can't go on what we know.
Such little information that I just, I don't know. And it's very obvious that there's a heck of a lot more to this story. Like there's so much more to this story. The timing that she went missing is really bizarre. Like most times that I know of, domestic things happen at night. People are having a couple drinks, or, they've gotten into an argument, they've got the kids down for bed. Like this is middle of the night stuff, like Chris Watts, like lots of domestic stuff. It's not always, it's not a guarantee, but it's very, very common for these types of things to be happening in the night. Not 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's really, really weird. And it just, from what the information that I have, it seems like she went missing fairly soon after dropping the older son off at school. So to me, that sounds like, did she even make it home? Like her keys are missing. That's probably all she took to take her son to school. So there's lots of
the only thing
really
about
massive
that
gaps here.
The only thing about that though is that the car seat, Margot's car seat, was upstairs. which to me was a big red flag because there's no way she could take her daughter in the car without the car
Okay,
seat.
so she drove to school?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Okay, even if she went in the
Unless-
stroller, she probably had one of
Yeah.
those stroller car seat
That
combination
the
things.
car seat thing, everyone's talking about the diaper bag, but I think the car seat thing as well is a big issue because
The car seat's a
I'm not a
huge
mum,
issue.
but I know that every single mum, it's pretty much attached to you when you go out.
Yeah, and the diaper bag for a newborn isn't. I am a mom, and I'm a mom of 5 kids, and I can tell you, especially with a newborn, if you're breastfeeding, all you need is a diaper to go out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that is all you need. I mean, you need. I mean, you could pack lots of other things, but she's not a first-time mom. First-time moms, they'll take 3
Yeah.
diaper bags, and they'll just fill the car. But when you get even just to your second, things are much different, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, who's to say? She's got a friend that lives in the complex.
Yep.
Sounds like there's a possibility, now this is just rumor and speculation, that she has an ex. It would have to, obviously, if there's an ex, it's been a while, many years, or there was something that happened in between these guys' first child and second child, because
Yeah.
the one is 5.
Yeah, he's
and
about
then
6
this
or
newborn.
7. The other
Yeah,
thing,
so is this like an 7-year-old boyfriend that we're talking about? That seems a little bit.
The other thing that Jamie just mentioned about her purple outfit, that purple sweater jumper was actually found in the house as well. So that's interesting to me as well.
Well, it means that she was in the home at some point.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I know, same with me. After you have a baby, you get really hot really easily, especially if you're breastfeeding. Or, I mean, she could have taken it off, again, if she's a breastfeeding mom. She took it off to feed the baby.
Yeah.
Sat down, fed the baby, changed the diaper, got up and went to go see a friend. And, like if she has a friend that lives in the same complex. I mean, there's just so many things. And I hate that. I just don't like the comparison. It's really frustrating. It's inappropriate speculation as far as I'm concerned. It's not something that anybody in the law field would ever look at, is behavior in front of a camera that quickly. Like, lots of people did a lot of looking back with the Chris Watts things, but I really challenge a lot of people to say that they saw that right away before hearing it from somebody else. People act really weird in front of cameras when everything is good. So when something is super stressful, a lot of people read a lot into the way Chris Watts acted, and he could have acted that, honestly, he could have acted that way. And I've seen it where people act completely weird and inappropriate in front of the camera. So I mean, I've been on the scene for lots and lots of people going through things like that, and I mean, they've got nothing to do with it. It's not normal for people to be in front of a camera.
No, and it was the same. The first interview that they've actually pulled now, the Raw, was the same night. It was the same night that it happened. Yeah. That's a lot for someone to go through when you make a phone call to say that, oh, well, she hasn't come home and I'm a little worried. And then to have police there, cameras there, that's a lot for someone to go through.
It is. And there's very much stages of the way people deal with too. Like, lots of people have heard of the stages of grief. DABDA, have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of them is, the first thing you go through is denial. So to him, he's probably thinking, I look like an idiot. She's ticked off at me. We've gotten into a fight. Like, let's just say he totally didn't do it. We'll just do a mind exercise with it, right? Let's just say he's got nothing to do with it. Hours into this, he's thinking, she's pissed at me. She's taken off. I look like an idiot making a big deal out of this. And now I've got these cameras and cops, and she's going to come back, and I'm going to go back to work on Monday, and everybody's going to look at me like I'm a complete fool. He's a working class man who looks, he kind of looks like he's in trades, that sort of stuff. And denial is your first response to trauma.
Yeah.
So he's probably still in that stage. Now, could he be a total bad guy? Blah, blah, of course. But I just don't like it when I see people that he very well could be a victim of a horrible crime. So it just makes me really super uncomfortable.
I get it. I mean, I mean, when I was doing my live a couple of days ago, when I first discovered this case, I mentioned it, and I was even considering playing it. But as I went through playing the Chris Watts interview, but as I went through all the info, I realized that would just be feeding into everything, and I just decided not to do that. But someone in the chat has said that Peter Hyatt is a statement analyst, and he has made a statement regarding Shane's interview. So if anyone has that,
I think that I might know what they're talking about. I read some of his stuff. I was reading something today. Oh, I don't have it pulled up right now. I'm just at my desk, but I don't have it pulled up. The other thing is what was the other thing? The only thing that causes me any sort of slight concern about a lot of this is the police press conference today. Did you see that?
Yeah, we're just about to play it in a minute, actually.
Yeah, that's what's causing me some concerns. They're not talking about ground searches. They're not talking about flyers. They're not, there's a lot of stuff, if you have any information, call, but everything else is nothing. It's like if you witnessed something, if you saw something, if you had a tip, but there's no.
So I wonder whether one of their theories that they're keeping close is that she may have gone somewhere by herself. I don't know. Maybe that, because I found it very weird that I was like, well, okay, they're working on it, but they're not asking for help from the public, which was just so interesting.
I just found their interview. Usually when you're looking for people, especially, a lot of cases that I follow, because I'm not American. I don't know if people know that, but so a lot of cases that I do read are American, just because it's so much on the news. There's quite a bit in Canadian, but we have a very, very closed policing service.
Same here, yeah.
We don't get the kind of.
That's why I cover a lot of American crimes.
It's a very British. Yeah, it's a very British system,
we get nothing.
Right? So we're both have the monarchy.
But if anyone has that statement from Peter Hyatt and they could email it to me, it's missbridgetparker@gmail.com.
I'm just going to take a look and see if I have. I don't even know if it's actually.
And someone else mentioned, which was a really good point. I probably can't find the comment. I apologize. So Serenity B said, when he said, "I hope they feed the baby, 3-week-old baby breastfed or bottle feeding," that was actually a really good point. I wonder if she was breastfed or bottle fed, because that would
makes
I don't know.
Huge.
It makes a difference to me as well.
It does matter. A prepper. Oh, I'm just reading.
It's good to. I mean, it's great to see Prepper in the chat. I love it when he's around.
So, but anyway, so that's just some of my, I've been working all day today, and I've been listening to different people come on and listening to streams and stuff, and it's just, sometimes it just bats around in your head, and you're just like, stop it, just stop it, just think of, and what you said too, which is, and this has happened a lot. I remember, because I've been into true crime since cold case files, back in the day, unsolved mysteries.
Classics.
All those really, so I've been doing this forever, and that's how I got into it. I was watching unsolved mysteries when I was, a teenager. That's how I got into all of this field, right? So, and I've been in lots of different genres of this field. And, this happened with Scott Peterson. This happened with Jodi Arias. This happened, you get this massive influx. And not only that, there's a massive desire for true crime nowadays. It's a huge thing, and
true crime plus social media. So it's a combination.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now it can be used to some good. Unfortunately, some people use it as a source of entertainment rather than, that's a whole nother discussion. But we have the ability to be um, really, really helpful if people just take take some of this seriously, not fly off the handle, not get crazy, and just think and share. And share your thoughts. Like, mind experiments are a beautiful thing, and it can solve a lot. So, and I think people have the ability to actually solve crime, actually find
Yeah,
people, solve
I agree.
cases. So, and that's what I think is really exciting about these channels. And I want to see more come. I want to see them grow. And they need to not be a popularity contest. They need to not be a pissing contest. They need to be really, and of course it can be social. We want it to be fun and we want it to be entertaining. But there's so many, I'm just this single person in Canada that has a knowledge and a desire for crime and crime victims. And I mean, what other way could I possibly be talking to people from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
So it's super cool, and I hope it keeps up. And I think there's a potential to do a lot of good. And I don't know. I just want to just bring people down a little bit and like, this is serious, and let's not throw this guy under the bus. Like, let's, he's not guilty until the police say, we can at least start
that he's
looking at him.
charged.
Yeah, at least a charge. Let's get to a charge first.
Yeah. No, I agree. And this channel, look, I cover so many different cases. I cover cases that no one else covered. No one else is covering about Yolanda's daughter. And so I'm trying really hard. So if anyone doesn't know the Tashira Boughton case, I'm covering that. I'm trying to cover all different sorts of cases, and my ultimate goal is not for anything other than to try and help in some way. And that's why you can see at the top of the screen, you can call the police department, the Austin Police Department, if you have any info. Don't send it to me, send it to the police. We're just here to help in any little way that we can. If we find some little thing that can help, or someone says something and goes, oh, well, I think I saw her, we can help with that. And that's sort of the aim.
Lots of people, like you see stuff, there's these news conferences and stuff like that. I haven't turned on my TV in probably 5 years. I wouldn't see a local news story.
Yeah. It's all on Facebook for me.
That's why I have, Facebook, YouTube, like I'm online.
Yeah.
Like I don't turn on. So if my local news, if there was a woman and her baby missing, if it didn't get picked up by somebody on YouTube or somebody on my face, even my Facebook, I barely go on, maybe I probably go on once a day, just do a quick scan or whatever. But if it wasn't online, I wouldn't even know about it. So that's why things like this are important too, is people our age, and I don't know how old you are, but I'm in my mid 40s.
I'm
younger, we're not watching TV. Yeah.
You know what? So I haven't turned. When you said that, I just realized I don't remember the last time I turned my TV on. I'm always on my laptop or my iPad, actually.
Yeah, I'm on my phone about 80% of the time, and at night, when you see me chat in the chat room, it's because I'm sitting at my desk.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm on my phone pretty much. I mean, I'm constantly, like I said, I've got 5 children. Most of them are in university, but they like to suck the life out of me. So, I'm busy. I mean, I've got a business. My husband has a business, and we've got, a house full of, humans. So that, I take care of. So, like I said, I mean, if it doesn't come across my YouTube feed, my Facebook feed, an email, something, I don't know, then we're not going to know about it. And that's why these YouTube channels and things like that really, really matter, and why they, can make such a huge difference. And I love it. And I mass unsubscribed to, like, I don't know, probably 10, 15 people over this last weekend, right? Because there's too many channels that have lost their way, and I'm really glad to see that you're still going strong and you're doing good. And I listen all the time. I think the last time I chatted, other than the last 2 weeks, was probably last, like, January, February. Like, I generally will go missing for like 10 months. I'm too busy. But I am listening all the time, and I love hearing, actual true crime and the passion and the care for it. So I appreciate your channel. It's really good.
Well, I have lots of interesting cases coming up. I've got a lot of people sending me cases of their loved ones now, so I'm really honored.
Really
feeling
and
a little
people have to
scared
start
and nervous.
sharing Bridget's channel. People need to share your channel, because this is
Yes,
the kind
please,
of channel
guys.
that we want to be growing. You know, this is the kind of channel that matters. So I think it would be really great. And you said you had a question for me, but I don't know if you wanted to ask me on air or.
Oh, so I'm just so, and I mean, a couple of people said it in chat as well. Your job, I know, is not, it's just your job and you're so used to it. But a lot of us just deeply respect it so much that I would love to do a stream where we could talk about the actual reality of it. Because it's something
people
that
really want to hear it. People think that they want to hear it, and then I start telling the first story, and they go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" Can't,
no, well,
can't.
I personally do.
So,
I really
okay.
do. I watch. There's a channel on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen it, that actually shows some crime scene cleaning. And
yeah, they do show a little bit. Yeah,
I have
am
such
not allowed to
respect
do
for it.
anything like that.
Yeah, I know.
I can talk about. We
Yeah.
have very, very, very strict rules here.
Oh, of course.
So I could never.
There's
but,
also
I mean, I can tell stories. They're mine. They're my
book,
stories, so I can talk about it. But.
I don't know if you know about this book. It's called The Trauma Cleaner. It's an Australian book by an Australian woman who does crime scene
I've actually
cleaning.
downloaded it because I'm an audio book junkie, but I haven't actually listened to it.
Everyone needs to listen to that book. It was probably it's brilliant. She's incredible, that woman. She's incredible. But I would love if you would, everyone in the comments is saying it too, we would love if you would come back sometime and talk to us, and really talk to us, and not I'll make it an 18+ if I have to.
You will have to.
Yeah,
I'm
but
I
do want to talk about that, because it's a job that until a couple of years ago I didn't know existed, and I didn't know how vital it is, especially for families that are going through a crisis. And I think that it would be incredible to talk to you about that.
The thing that's awful is how, like, you know, in the States, when you hear about the fact that families have to do it themselves, like, that is just, I can't even. That's horrific. You know, people talk about American healthcare system. That you got something smaller you can start with. Don't make crime victims do that work anymore. That's horrific. I do it for a living. I couldn't do it for my own family. So
no.
That's not okay.
But I will let you go because I'm going to show the interview now. But I will shoot you a message later.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for calling
everybody.
in. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
So I might quickly close Zoom for a second. End meeting for all. And we might have a little look at the interview, but I'm so glad that the Glera and Nada called in. And I think that would make a really good stream alive as well, because it's a job that I could never do, but I have such a deep respect for. And if you haven't, if you're looking for a book, and it's not a very, very graphic book, it's a very deep personal book. It's called let me just double check. It's called The Trauma Cleaner. And it's about a woman in Australia who set up a company. And so it is called I'll just grab the image of the book. I listened to the audio, and she's just incredible, because she's a trans woman who has had such an interesting life. And I know we're completely off topic, and I apologize, but you know, you guys understand that this is just how the nature of how lives work. So that's just a little look at, that's a little bit of the cover of it. It'll come up on the screen in a minute. And I think that you guys would really like it. It talks about hoarding as well. She did a lot of work with that, and I found that really interesting, because I found how deeply ingrained in mental health it is. It's a great book. The crime scene cleaning business is something that isn't talked about enough, I don't think. So we will do that in a live sometime. But what I will do now is let's show the interview. So I have recorded the interview. I know that I've just been starting out again with lives by myself, and it has been a little bit of a learning experience. I do think that the video quality is a little bit better now. Now that the sound's fixed, we're working on the video quality. So I have recorded the video. So I hope that it's okay. Let me know in the comments as we watch it. It goes for about 10 minutes. So I'll pop that on now so that we can have a look. This was done. Oh, perfect, Lily Bell. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. But this interview was done at, I think, 1 p.m. Central today in Texas. So let me grab this. Here we go.
Is everybody ready?
Good afternoon. My name is Brad Harries, B-R-A-D-H-E-R-R-I-E-S. I'm a detective with the Austin Police Department Violent Crimes Unit. Today I want to provide an update on the current state of our search for Heidi Broussard and Margot Carey. I'll reiterate their descriptions. Heidi is a 33-year-old white female. She stands 5'3", 150 pounds. She has dark hair with highlights in it, and Margot is now a 3-week-old child. Her last doctor's appointment, she was 7 pounds, 7 ounces, and 22 inches long. Heidi and Margot were last seen on Thursday, December 12th, here in Austin, Texas. It's believed that Heidi and Margot's last known location was at their apartment complex in the area of William Cannon and South First, and we believe them to be there sometime the morning of that Thursday, December 12th. Heidi and Margot were reported missing to us, to the Austin Police Department, at approximately 7:30 that night on Thursday. Patrol went to the scene, conducted an initial investigation, and contacted detectives with the Austin Police Department. Since that moment, we've been working this case continually. We have asked for the help of the FBI. The FBI is sending in the CARD team, that's the Child Abduction Response Deployment Team, here to Austin to assist with this investigation and with this search for Heidi and for Margot. Throughout this investigation, we've had the assistance of a number of units, both locally, statewide, and nationally, including the Austin Police Department Missing Persons Unit, the Austin Police Department Special Investigations Unit, the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Texas Rangers, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Travis County Search and Rescue Team, as well as the Texas Parks and Wildlife. Those units have continued to support us and continue to support us as we move on with this investigation and our search for Heidi and Margot. I want to thank the community for tips that we've received in this case. We've received numerous tips from all different mediums and all different sources. We ask that those tips that are made be reported to the Austin Police Department. We've seen a lot of tips that are posted online, and with those tips, we may not find them. We're aware of a lot of Facebook pages, a lot of online channels where people are posting comments that may be relevant to our investigation. We ask that you also share those with the Austin Police Department. Our resources, we're doing our best to keep up with the number of posts and number of tips that are being posted online, but we ask that you contact us, the Austin Police Department, at area code 512-974-5250 with any tips. If you see Heidi or Margot, please contact the Austin Police Department or your local law enforcement agency if you see them out and about. We continue to search. We've been working continually since Thursday night to try and find Heidi and Margot.
Detective, can we ask some questions here? Given where you are right now with the investigation, is Shane Carey a person of interest?
So we have an ongoing current investigation. I'm not ready to get into anyone that we have as persons of interest. To be perfectly honest with you, this case is unique in that we don't have a person of interest right now. We're exploring every avenue that we have and every possibility. And to be perfectly honest, anything is possible at this point, and we're working down every angle to try and exclude possibilities and narrow that down to locate Margot and Heidi. And that's why we need the public's help. And if you see Margot or Heidi or have any information about their whereabouts, please contact the Austin Police Department.
And Detective, do you think that they have, that Heidi left on her own?
It's possible that Heidi and Margot have left on their own accord. It's also possible that there may be something nefarious or foul play involved. And to be honest, we don't know the answer to that question. And that's what we're continuing to work on as we speak right now.
The possibility that Heidi could have left on her own would be why child abduction response teams would be involved with that.
The introduction of the FBI to the investigation is to help us, and the acronym
For your special occasions this Christmas, IGA's got great weekly specials like
direction or thoughts of this investigation. We're asking for any help that we can get, and the FBI is being very gracious in helping us out with that specialized unit.
You named several agencies that are helping you with these search efforts, but there hasn't been a visual boots on the ground that we've been able to see. Is there a certain area that you guys are looking into? Is there not an area? I guess where are those boots on the ground efforts to find her happening?
So ever since Thursday night, there have been officers on scene at their last known locations, at areas that would make sense for them to have been at, doing video canvasses, knocking on doors, talking to neighbors, and doing anything we can do to try and find the current state, current position, or current location of Heidi and Margot.
Can you tell us what she was doing on Thursday? Can you walk us through her day and where she was coming back from when she got to her apartment, where she was last seen?
So it was released earlier on. She was dropping a child off at a school here in Austin, and then returns to the apartment. And that's where our investigation begins, is at the time she returned to the apartment.
And it's been 5 days now. Are you any closer to finding out what happened to her or finding her location? And what, if anything, have you been able to do to push the needle forward? Have you recovered any new video that may be out there?
So we haven't released, and to be honest with you, it's an ongoing investigation. We will not release all the information on what we're doing right now, but I can assure you that continual investigations, whether that be video canvas, speaking to neighbors, family, friends, coworkers, past coworkers, anything along those lines, as well as forensic searches of their digital footprint and any electronic devices, are all being continually evaluated and investigated by us.
What can you share about any previous calls or disturbances at Heidi's apartment?
So the previous calls and investigations, those are something I would defer, but those are part of the ongoing investigation.
You say that you're still searching for her. Do you still assume that she is alive at this point with the baby as well?
At this time, we have no reason to believe that Margot nor Heidi are harmed. We are still looking for them in a search and recovery manner. With them being alive, our assumption is that they're alive, and the sooner that we can find them, the better. That's why, again, we ask for the community's assistance, for the public's assistance. And if you see either of them or have any information related to Margot or Heidi and their whereabouts or the circumstances surrounding their past 5 days, we ask that you contact the Austin Police Department.
Detective, can you please confirm whether there have or have not actually been any domestic incidents reported at that address?
I can't go into the details of that. That's part of the ongoing investigation.
Are you reaching out to or trying to work with any out-of-state law enforcement agencies at all, thinking they may have crossed state lines? Louisiana, we know that most of her family is in Louisiana. Are we looking into if she possibly went back home to Louisiana in lieu of this?
So our partners with the Department of Public Safety are helping out, reach out to those other states and those other law enforcement agencies to conduct those investigations that are frankly outside of our jurisdiction, and we are continuing to work on those angles.
We've heard a lot of questions about why there was not an Amber Alert issued when she went missing and Margot went missing. How come there wasn't?
So an Amber Alert carries with it a very specific set of circumstances, and the circumstances surrounding this offense, this call for service don't match that Amber Alert. I would defer you to DPS for their criteria specifically for the Amber Alert. I can tell you that it didn't match that.
Detective, you mentioned the fact that you had moved up the time now from 7:50 in the morning at the school to sometime in the morning that mother and child were seen at their apartment complex. Was that due to surveillance video that was on scene then?
So that's just part of our ongoing investigation. We have reason to believe that both of them were back at the apartment complex after being at the school.
And there had been some suggestion that her keys and her purse were found either in her car or in the apartment. Where were her items of personal property found?
So that's part of the scene that we're processing and continuing to process as we speak. And those questions I'm going to say are part of the ongoing investigation as we
What
continue.
have you been able to nail down about where Shane was on Thursday throughout the day and at what point he got home and all of that?
The timeline of all people surrounding Heidi and Margot, whether it be family members and friends or things that we've been investigating and speaking to them about. And that's part of the ongoing investigation into this case.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. Let me just get that number centered. Thanks, Jane Doe. And, can you guys see it properly? So, just oops, I don't like hearing my own voice back on the replay. But if anyone does have information about Heidi or Margot, please call the Austin Police Department on 512-974-5250. Sorry, Bella Blue. Sound down, everyone. Usually I come back quietly, but I just totally forgot this time. I apologize. I'm sorry for your poor little eardrums. So, what did we learn from the press conference / interview? I'm going through the comments. I think it was great. Someone mentioned about it was good that they sort of discussed. Nola Chick says it was a good question about the Amber Alert. I need to research into that, but I think that the criteria is that it's I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'll just quickly Google Amber Alert. Yeah. But I think because she's with her mum, it doesn't. Here we go. Here's the guidelines. Okay, so the criteria is there is reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred. So even that one, we can't say that because she's with her mum. But law enforcement agency believes that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. There is enough descriptive information about the victim and the abduction for law enforcement to issue an Amber Alert to assist the recovery of the child. The abduction of a child is aged 17 years or younger. The child's name and other critical data elements, including the child's abduction flag, have been entered into the National Crime Information Center NCIC system. So there's actually a link. Let me pop it in the chat in case anyone wants to go and have a little look later. But that's so. I mean, I understand. It was a great question, though. I think. What else? What other questions do we have about it? So she left her other child. Yes. So her other child is about 6 or 7. He's a boy, a little boy. I'm not going to say his name. I said it yesterday and I wasn't comfortable saying it. I really don't want, he's not, yeah, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Yeah. And so I do know that Amber Alerts are quite strict. I feel like there should be like I don't know, like an in-between or something. I don't know. I'm just scrolling through chat to see What else? But it was a very, I don't know, it felt like to me we should probably do a press conference because we haven't done one yet, and they realized the media attention, the public interest in it. I don't know. That's how I felt a little bit. When was the last sighting? She was last seen December 12th. Physically seen at around 7:30 a.m. at her son's school, Cowan Elementary School. She last spoke to her partner, her fiance Shane, on the phone about 8:15 to my recollection. Bella Blue says, what's the story with the other boyfriend's email to the YouTuber? So, I will talk about that in a second. Aaron Leahy says we were talking about his Facebook profile saying he's single and they're perhaps on and off relationship. I do believe a friend came out and stated, which is also, I guess, speculation, that their relationship was on and off. So, take that as maybe they were on and off, and maybe he's not someone that goes on Facebook a lot and he's got single written down because last year they weren't. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And I guess he hasn't been asked about it either. That sort of leads into what Bella Blue was just asking about with the other boyfriend's email to the YouTuber. So someone wrote an email to another YouTuber claiming to be Heidi's boyfriend, and he read the letter out, and I'm not one to bash other YouTubers, other content creators, and that's absolutely not what I'm doing. But I can't say whether that's legitimate or not. The police have that information and they can search to see if that's factual or not. I'm not the one that can verify any of that. There is speculation that she had another boyfriend. There's speculation that she had, I don't know whether it's the same person, but that she had an ex that was showing some tendencies of being pretty over the top and stalker-like. I did get sent by someone an email with some screenshots from a group. Let me have a look at the screenshots again. I debated on showing them or not. I personally, it's not fact, it's an opinion that someone has. And whilst it's great that we as a community can share our opinions in the chat, and that you can call in and share your opinions, I don't know whether I want to go down that rabbit hole. Because that can get things messy. For me, hey Tina, for me, I kind of want to go on the facts, and I can't verify comments that are left on a Facebook group. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? I mean, because there's so much that I could show, but I don't know whether if it's fact or speculation, and I am concerned that I would put out the wrong information and tell you guys the wrong thing, and you know, you guys are all believing something that's completely false. So I'm very, very cognizant of the fact that there's a lot of Facebook groups. I run a Facebook group, All Things True Crime. Shameless plug. But I like to go on facts. Yeah, it's about, yeah, you're right. It is about credibility. I want to show you guys what we know for sure. But you can go into all the groups. I think it's important. Sometimes I do think it's really important to go in and see what they're saying, and they're great because they update you. Everyone's there working together to update you as much as they possibly can. But I just don't want to muddy the waters at all. And I think that can happen sometimes with the groups, and I don't want that at all. Ooh, Jane Doe makes a really interesting point. No missing poster at the conference. Whoa, I didn't even think of that. Truth is Luther, give us your gut feeling. everyone's welcome to give their gut feeling, how they feel. For me, there's not enough information. Nada, I was sent screenshots of some posts and some comments in some groups on Facebook, and they talk about Heidi's past and Shane's past, and I don't know if they're fact or not, because I can't verify the person who posted about it. Erin, yes, I watched that live stream. I mean, that's the other thing as well, guys. I don't want to come out bashing people, and my intent is never to get clicks or what's the word I'm looking for? My ultimate goal is to try and help and to advocate for victims. So if I was to come out and start talking about these victims' alleged private lives, I don't think that that's really advocating for a victim. Hey, Space Monster. You're back and forth. Look, I think that we're allowed to be. Apparently, Pepper his gut feeling is swollen and gassy. Yeah, exactly, Tina. We're all just thinking of them, and all we really want is to exploit. Thank you, Kristen. I really appreciate that. I don't want to exploit them. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. This is about helping and being a victim's advocate. And I do a lot of work behind the scenes that I don't tell you guys about. I try and help as much as I can. My channel's not monetized. I don't make money off anything. This is done purely because I have a passion for it. So I don't want to ever offend. And that's why you'll never see clickbaity titles in my videos or anything. And that's not me. That's me talking about me and my channel. Jane Doe says, we are true crime junkies. We've seen cases like this and speculate based on experience. Yeah, that's true. It is. We all sort of, you sort of kind of see a pattern, not a pattern, but you get to a feel of cases. I just can't, I don't know about this one. I really don't. But if you think that he's guilty, then you're totally entitled to feel that way. Lilybell, I mean, don't feel bad about that either, because at first, the first thought I had was, ooh, this looks awfully familiar. And then I watched it properly, again, objectively. I think that sometimes we go in with our emotions instead of with facts. And that's because I truly believe that people that are interested in true crime have a lot of empathy. I think that that's what drives all of us and fascinates us with true crime. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm still on the fence. We don't know enough. We really don't. So how about we do this? If you think, I don't even want to do that. And I wish that I could speak to a friend of Heidi's or family of Heidi's and a friend of Shane's or a family member of Shane's. I want to hear from them. I want to know about Heidi as a person. I want to know about the 2 weeks that Margot had with her dad, and don't even get me started on how horrible that is. Only 2 weeks that he's been able to know her. But yeah, I want to speak to them, and I want to hear their stories. Lily Beljoy, it's a lesson that we all learn. Don't beat yourself up over it. Space Monster, if you want to get into the cases, I mean, there's a lot of videos on it, but I did a video yesterday sort of summing everything up that we know so far. But to sort of simplify it all, she was last seen on Thursday at around 7:30 a.m. dropping her kid off at Cowan Elementary School. the image on the left in the purple jumper is the last image of her. She went missing with her 2-week-old baby girl, Margot. Her car was at the house unlocked, with her wallet inside. The diaper bag and the car seat were also upstairs in the apartment, and she and Margot are nowhere to be found. And the police are being very tight-lipped about it. Jay says he speaks a lot about what happened until 2 p.m, then he goes quiet on details. Yeah, I mean, I do kind of agree with that. 2 to 7 is a long time not to account for. Good point. Maybe we need to look into that though. Wow, Erin. That's going to be intense. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Is there a timeline out? I have seen a timeline, not by police though. So I don't know whether we want to go down that road or not. Do we? I saw someone post a timeline. See if I can find it. Oh, Jay, that's a great point. The books that she bought at the book fair, that she bought 3 books for $25, they were also at the house. So the police believe she did go to the home beforehand, before whatever happened. I also was contacted by someone whose husband works in the area, and he's actually volunteered today to go out and search. So it's incredible when people donate their time to do things like that. It's just incredible. There is a group, Heidi and Margot Search Party. It's a public group on Facebook if you search it. And I do believe, let me just have a look at the discussion page. There's a post 36 minutes ago I might actually read out. It says, "Hey everyone, sorry it's taken me a bit longer to update you all. I had an interview about our search party with local media." Let me share it with you guys. Here's my window capture. Oh, what did Kristen say? Kristen and Co says, "I live here in Austin and saw someone that looked just like her Friday after she went missing, very close to her apartments, but at the time I didn't know she was missing." And she said that she did report it. Good for you. Well done. Okay, let's have a little look at this post. So this is in the Heidi and Margot search party group. Says, "Hey everyone, sorry it's taken me a bit longer to update you all. I had an interview about our search party with the local media. Based on what I saw in the press conference this afternoon, the search is still on for Saturday." Okay, so we know that now there's a search for Saturday. "I'm still working on organising locations for teams, getting flyers printed, trying to find us some maps to use during our search, and some other supplies that might help us along the way. I want to remind everyone of a few things right off the bat. Number 1, please don't bring your children. Number 2, please be at least 18 years old. Please know that this could be life-changing for an adult. We need to protect our children." That's really good that they've done that. 3, please do not search alone. We will be separated into teams for multiple reasons. There's safeties in numbers and for overall support. 4, join this search party at your own risk. It is your responsibility to make sure you are safe and stay healthy before, during, and after. Please consider this before you decide to join us. One of the most important things I can say here, please be mindful of what we might find during our search. It could be a life-changing or a very traumatic experience. Please give your participation some serious consideration before you decide to join in the search. I will bring more information and other reminders with me to share with you all when we meet at Gateway on Saturday. Please feel free to reach out to me here or through DM with any questions or other comments. I still need some people who are interested in leading teams, preferably someone who knows the area or knows how to read maps very well. Thanks so much for your support. Our community is amazing. Let's keep hoping that we have to cancel the search, but I'm still planning, but also hoping for the best. So the group is... If you look for it up the top, it says Heidi and Margot Search Party. So if you're in the area and you think you can help, I would recommend joining the group and shooting over a message to whoever's the admin of the group. And I might actually send the admin a message as well and see if there's any way we can help. And I'll see if there's a way for us to possibly donate money if they need it to buy maps or something like that. So I will post more information about that in the group, in the Facebook group, which is All Things True Crime. But that's all I think we have at the moment. I haven't seen anything about any other press conferences coming up. Oh, Deirdre, it's okay. Yeah, Kristen says she spoke to the police on the tip line, which is awesome. So if you do have any information or you think you're in the area and you think you saw her, the best thing to do is to call Austin Police Department on 512-974-5250. And I will leave that actually in the top of the description so that people can find out. Kristen and Co, they are searching. There is a search planned for Saturday. Let me just get the URL. I'll just put the URL in the chat right now for you guys. Just in case you want to go in and ask if you can help out anyway. You might not be in the area. I mean, I'm in Australia. I can't help, but if there's a way that we can help, if we can help financially, of course we're going to do that. That's important for us to be able to help in some way. And I think they make a really great point as well, to be prepared. It's all well and good for us to go, oh yeah, I want to go out and search, but it's really great that they've actually said this could be a life-changing thing. It really could. Yeah, Prepper, I mean, it's... You want... It's just... It's hard because the more time that goes past, the more likely it is that something bad has happened, but you want to hold on to that hope. I think it's important to always be hopeful, and I hope that the search party is cancelled. I hope that that doesn't need to happen on Saturday. But I will see if I can get any more information and see if I can help, or if we can get some family or friends or the leaders of the search to come on and have a chat, because I think that once we make these cases personal in a sense and we connect with people that are involved, it takes on a different meaning and it becomes more becomes more real in a sense, I think. And so I want to be able to help them if I can. But I think we're going to wrap it up there for today. Thank you everyone so much for coming in. If you find out anything of importance, please pass it on to the police. But if you find anything else that you think is interesting, you're welcome to email it to me at missbridgetparker@gmail.com. All of my information is in the description for you to have a look at. Don't forget to come and join our Facebook group, All Things True Crime, on Facebook. We are in there and updating it pretty much hourly about not only this case, but a lot of other cases as well. And I hope everyone has a good day or night. It is 20 to 3 p.m. here on Wednesday, so I am going to have a little rest and then continue on with my day and do some more respectful stalking. Have a lovely day or night, and I will see you in 2 days. Remember, we're streaming every other day. Tomorrow I'm going to get my hair done, so I definitely won't be on. I'll be at the hairdressers. But I will see you guys in 2 days. Take care. Goodbye. And I'll see you then. Bye for now.